Ethan was an ordinary man, living an unremarkable life in the bustling city. He lived an ordinary life, filled with mundane routines and constant regrets. One rainy afternoon, he stumbled upon an antique shop tucked away in a forgotten corner of the city. The musty smell of old books and the faint chime of a grandfather clock greeted him. A glint of gold from behind a dusty display case caught his eye. It was a watch, unlike any he'd ever seen. Its intricate design was mesmerizing. An inexplicable pull drew him to it. He felt a strange connection. The shopkeeper whispered, "This watch, it controls more than time." Ethan chuckled, dismissing it as an old man's tale. He bought the watch. That night he fiddled with the watch. Its weight felt significant in his hands. He turned the hands back, a playful attempt at rewriting a minor mishap from earlier that day. To his astonishment, the events of the day rearranged themselves. His spilled coffee, his missed bus, all erased. The day unfolded differently. This wasn't just a watch, it was a time machine. The realization hit him like a bolt of lightning. Ethan started small. He corrected a failed job interview, retaking it with the knowledge of the future. He then prevented a car accident he had witnessed. Life began to fall into place, each tick of the watch turning his world into a flawless masterpiece. His confidence grew. His life, once mundane, was now a canvas of his own making. He reveled in his newfound control, his heart thrumming with each successful manipulation of time. Success followed success. He amassed wealth using his knowledge of future market trends. He found love replaying a chance encounter until it blossomed into a relationship. Ethan was living the dream, a dream carefully crafted by his own hand, orchestrated by the golden watch. One day, as Ethan reached for the watch to correct a trivial annoyance, he had no idea that this simple action would change everything. A sharp pain shot through his arm as if the watch itself was warning him. The watch felt unusually hot, almost as if it was alive, pulsating with an eerie energy. He looked at the inscription on the back, which he had previously dismissed as mere decoration, but now it seemed to hold a deeper meaning. It read, "For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction." The words echoed in his mind, resonating with a newfound significance. He felt a chill run down his spine, a cold dread that he couldn't shake off. A sense of unease crept into his heart, a disharmony in his perfectly tuned world. Everything felt off-kilter. The world around Ethan began to shift. Familiar faces became strange, morphing into unrecognizable forms. His once warm and welcoming home felt cold and alien, as if he was a stranger in his own life. He saw glitches in the matrix of his perfect life. People vanished from photos, leaving empty spaces where memories once were. Events he distinctly remembered never happened. His past was being rewritten, and he was powerless to stop it. The watch was rewriting his past, but it was also unraveling his present, leaving him in a state of perpetual confusion and fear. One night, Ethan woke up to a deafening thunderclap that seemed to shake the very foundations of his home. He sat up in bed, his heart pounding in his chest, each beat echoing the thunder outside. Standing at the foot of his bed was a figure shrouded in shadow, an ominous presence that sent chills down his spine. As the lightning flashed, illuminating the room for a fleeting moment, Ethan gasped. It was him, but not quite, or rather, a future version of himself, aged and worn by time. The figure, haggard and despairing, looked at Ethan with eyes that held an eternity of suffering, a silent plea for understanding. "You did this," the figure rasped, his voice heavy with warning and regret. "The watch, it promises perfection, but it delivers only ruin," he continued, his words dripping with sorrow. He went on to narrate the horrifying consequences of Ethan's continued tampering with time, painting a picture of a life unraveling. It was a bleak future of loneliness, madness, and utter despair, a world where hope was a distant memory. Ethan, horrified, realized the monster he was becoming, a slave to his own ambitions. He had become a slave to his desire for perfection, blind to the devastation it was causing, and now he faced the consequences of his actions. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on our latest videos, and follow us on TikTok for more behind-the-scenes content and exclusive updates.